Is the back to way the same as sticking to the I am while living one's life? A little bit, in a way. The back to you way is, is devotion, is in every instant. You might feel like you're serving God, originally, but it's like giving everything to God in every moment. Thinking of God in every moment. The Bhakti way tends to be more guru. So you start with a guru and you love the guru. And then eventually you begin to see the guru as God and then see everything as God. It's like this progression. And you give all the pain and the suffering to the guru. But it's in a way giving it to God, but you're doing it in a human form because the mind is dualistic, but eventually you're giving everything to God. So it's rather than negating not this nor that, it is like that is God, the initial feeling of I am, which is God. But it's not as not potent, it's just not as well defined as using the word God, I suppose. Yeah. It's more the positive, than the netty negative. But some people might see going to the I am as netty because you're kind of negating everything else, but that's what you're kind of doing back to as well. It all comes down to the same in the end. And then I would see the I am more as the loving, the love side, the being, the manifested, and the empty looking, the not this, not that, the emptiness as the nothingness, the wisdom side. So could you say netty is a practice to shortcut circuit thoughts, the mind? And bhakti is a devotion from the heart? Yeah. Yeah, lovely way to phrase it. So one may use the bridge of allowing one's love for the guru and the world of which the I am is a part. Being just with the I am is love without an object, more like taking a bath. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard my story. Like, I didn't really know that this was bhakti or what was happening, but when I was younger, I started doing this thing where I imagined having a boyfriend or a girlfriend and being really loved. That was what I really desired. So being really, really loved. This was when I was like, maybe just before being a teenager, or also when I was a teenager, I did it often. So I'd imagine being loved and having the perfect partner. And I would imagine this so much that I would become so filled with love that at a point I would stop imagining them and then there would just be love. And it was such a divine experience, and so I'd do it often. I would listen to music, I would imagine what I really wanted, which at the time was a partner, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and I imagined loving them to the max and them loving me to the max and us having everything we wanted. And then the love would take over and the imagination and the division would disappear. And then there would be this love. And this really profoundly affected my relationships and what steered me towards this subject, because I then realized, without any verbal context of this subject, that I could get the love that I wanted from any relationship, any object, or anything just by sitting and imagining having it. And that profoundly affected things, because I also began to notice that that practice was better than doing anything. It was more satisfying doing that than going out having a boyfriend or girlfriend, than being successful. And this is the same as what would be described as bhakti or tantra practices, where you would take a guru or an image, of an image, like the Buddha's image, and you would imagine loving them, and then that's evoking love in your heart, and then stage by stage you then imagine surrendering to them, and then the division between you gone, and then eventually you imagine everything is love. There's a whole practice to it and process of it. So in bhakti, you give everything to them, and like all your suffering and all your pain and everything, all your desires. But in tantra, I think it's more like you're evoking that image and evoking that fire in your heart, that passion and that love. Yeah. And I suppose that's why I never really did self-inquiry. I did the I am practice. I always knew what the I am was, and this love. And so when Roger or Ramesh or Nisargadatta would say, put the attention in the I am, which is the initial thought, which is right next to the pure being and the empty looking, like I knew what that was, this love. Some people, go more towards nothing first, and some towards everything. And then they're seen as the same. Same.